I first noticed it in a shop window. I was crossing the street, glanced at my reflection in the glass without thinking, and froze. The street behind me looked normal, cars, people, movement, but there was something wrong with the spacing. A man stood behind me in the reflection, too close, close enough that I should have felt his breath on my neck. I turned around. No one was there. I laughed it off, a short, embarrassed sound meant for no one. Reflections distort. Glass bends light. Your brain fills in gaps when it's tired. But as I kept walking, the feeling didn't leave. The sense of being misaligned with the world. Like something had briefly snapped into place and then slipped back out again. I didn't see it again for weeks. The second time was on the train. I was seated by the window, half watching my reflection in the dark glass as stations passed. Across from me sat a woman scrolling on her phone. Her reflection overlapped with mine. And behind her, standing in the narrow aisle space where no one could physically stand, was the same shape. Tall, thin, motionless. It didn't touch her, didn't lean, didn't breathe. It just stood there, occupying the space directly behind her body, its head tilted forward slightly, like it was reading over her shoulder. I snapped my eyes up from the glass and looked at the aisle. Empty. When I looked back at the window, the shape was gone. That was when I stopped telling myself it was coincidence. After that, I started noticing patterns. I only ever saw it in reflections. Glass doors, mirrors, polished metal, dark screens, never directly, never in open air. And it was always behind someone else, never in front, never beside, always close enough that it felt invasive. The people it stood behind didn't react, didn't shiver, didn't glance over their shoulder. They went on with their lives, unaware they were sharing their space with something that didn't belong there. At first, it appeared randomly. A man at a bus stop, a woman in a lift, a child staring into a fridge. Then the timing started to bother me. I saw it behind a colleague in the office kitchen one morning. She complained of a headache, laughed it off, went home early. 2 days later, she didn't come back. Stroke, sudden, no warning. I told myself I was reaching, that I was forcing meaning onto coincidence because that's what humans do when they're scared. Then it happened again. And again, every person I saw it behind stopped showing up shortly afterward. Accidents, illness, one suicide. The gap between sighting and disappearance got shorter each time. Days became hours. Hours became minutes. I stopped looking at reflections. That didn't help. The thing didn't move closer to me. Stayed where it was, patient, observant, like it wasn't interested yet. I tried warning someone once, a man in a car park. I saw the shape behind him in the dark surface of a parked van. It loomed so close its outline swallowed his reflection. "Hey," I said, my voice shaking. Do you feel okay?" He frowned. "What?" I opened my mouth to say look behind you and realized how insane that sounded. The words collapsed before they reached my tongue. The shape in the reflection leaned forward, not toward him, toward me. His face was wrong, not blurred, not hidden, just unfinished. I walked away without another word. That night I dreamed of mirrors, endless ones, each reflecting the same hallway, each hallway empty except for a figure standing just out of view. When I woke, my heart was racing. I went to the bathroom and avoided the mirror, washed my hands by feel alone. Still, I knew. The certainty settled in my chest like a weight. The thing didn't chase. It didn't stalk. It waited. A week passed without sightings. I almost convinced myself it was over. Stress-induced hallucinations, anxiety, a story my brain had grown bored of telling. Then, late one night, I caught my reflection in the black screen of my phone. I wasn't alone. The shape stood behind me, closer than it had ever been behind anyone else. So close its outline bled into my own. I didn't turn around. I didn't scream. I stared at the screen, heart pounding, watching as it adjusted its position. Not closer, straighter, aligned, the head tilted, not to look at me, to look through me. The reflection blinked. Mine didn't. I dropped the phone. The screen shattered on the floor. In the dark glass of the broken screen, I saw it again. Still behind me, still waiting. I stopped using mirrors after that. Covered them, turned screens face down, avoided reflective surfaces wherever I could. It didn't matter. Reflections are everywhere. Shop windows, cutlery, eyes. Last night, I was brushing my teeth with the lights off, staring into the dark shape of the bathroom window, letting myself believe I was safe as long as I didn't see. Then something changed. The spacing was wrong. The shape in the glass wasn't behind me anymore. It was directly over my shoulder, where my reflection should have ended. I felt breath on my neck, not warm, not cold, absent. And in the dark, for the first time, I understood the rule I'd been missing. It doesn't follow people. It waits until there's nothing left between you and the reflection.